You started recording my booty. I haven't reset the booty yet. Hello and welcome back.
Welcome to Untitled Chapter Heroes and Villains, episode number 28. Where we talk about Sarah Jane Smith.
What are we talking about today, Hatter?
Sarah Jane Smith.
Alrighty. And who are we talking about today?
Sarah Jane Smith.
Oh. How many episodes has Sarah Jane Smith been?
I do not know.
Me either.
She is second, I believe, only to Jamie. In terms of
this is what we're gonna
episodes on the show.
Here, I got it.
Okay. She ran from 1973.
Less than Jamie. Is Jamie IE or a Y?
IE. And she's good for a while. Till the Deadly Assassin. 439 minus.
What year was that?
Deadly Assassin?
When
76. 76.
She came on in 76?
No, 73 to 76.
Oh, 73 to 76.
Yes. Barely 73. So,
amount.
435.
I don't know if that's even.
Hey, she has 79 episodes during her first run. Then she's in the Five Doctors, so that's 80 episodes. Then she's in Canine Company, which is 91. And then she has her own spin-off show, The Sarah Jane Adventures, which are really, really cool. They're definitely made for kids, you know.
You ever get heat flashes? Makes your back itchy? Just me?
Probably just you.
I'm going through menopause. Yeah.
I somehow doubt that. You're too young.
My womb's all dried up.
I somehow doubt that. Okay, Sarah Jane is one of the most beloved companions on the show, period.
Or not.
If not, I think the only people that could give her a run for her money would be Jamie McCrimmon and the Brigadier.
You're just talking about the old school stuff?
No, I mean, I'm not.
You mean including the newer companions?
Including the newer ones, yeah, I'm not
You
sure.
don't have any favorites? What about the one that loves the doctor?
Oh, Rose. Not as big a fan of hers. No.
Who's the one with the
I like
hair
Donna.
from The Office?
Donna.
With the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's great, and I love.
She's in The Office.
And I love Captain Jack. He's great.
Oh. We haven't seen him yet.
Nope.
Isn't he coming in soon?
No, he comes in the new stuff.
Oh. Who's he played by? The star. I think I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Let's see.
Anyway,
Does he have a peg leg and a book
No.
and a parrot?
Uh-uh.
Damn. That'd be a cool companion.
He's a pilot captain, not
A what?
a pilot.
Oh, I thought you said pirate.
No, pilot.
Pilot.
Yeah. Pilot. Anyway, Sarah Jane Smith, one of the more beloveds.
Look at me.
Yeah, she.
I didn't be captain now.
In
You
fact,
seen that movie? What movie is that? Sully? No.
yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
It's Sully? Okay. I've never watched it.
It's the one where Tom Hanks,
Hanks,
gets
hijacked.
ran straight to Somalia.
And the captain now.
Yeah. Anyway, so she runs with the Doctor for like 2.5, 3 years, from the third into the fourth Doctor. Well into the fourth Doctor. She comes back in the Five Doctors. Then she comes back again. Well, first she comes back in Canine Company.
You already lost me, I'm sorry.
We watched Canine Company.
I know.
Out of order.
She comes back in so many things.
Well,
here's the BBC. They're like, let's put some Sarah Jane here, Sarah Jane there.
Well, that's what they do with the Brigadier.
This isn't. We need more views there. Don't bring people back.
Brigadier, yeah. All right. So she's with the Doctor for 2.5 years. You know, third and fourth incarnation of the Doctor. Then she comes back in Canine Company, the pilot, which wasn't picked up for a full show. Then she comes back in the Five Doctors. Then she comes back in the modern show in an episode called School Reunion. And then she gets her own spin-off the Sarah Jane Adventures, and then
I thought
she shows up again in the main show.
I thought Canine and Company was after Sarah Jane Adventures.
Mm-mm.
So when did Sarah Jane Adventures air? That's much later then.
Yeah, in the noughts. Whereas Canine and Company was like 1981. Yeah. So that was 20 years, 25, 28 years before the Sarah Jane Adventures.
So how old is she?
She's pretty young in the old show, and she, in her late 20s or something, and she's in her late 50s when she comes back.
Oh, that's not bad.
And unfortunately, she passed away. So
just recently, right? Barely?
No, about 10 years ago or so.
Oh, okay. I must be thinking of something. That's sad.
It is.
She died young then?
She did die young. She did die in her 50s. She was going to be in the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
And then she passed away.
That's why they did the swap with the companions. Because every Doctor has their companion come back in the...
No, not in the 50th. You're thinking about the 5 Doctors, the 20th, which is what we watched for the main group last night. Which, going back to the Shada thing, they used that, but so they didn't have Sarah Jane with the 4th Doctor because he was with Romana, because they used that. Mm-hmm. So they shifted down Sarah Jane to the 3rd Doctor, even though she was more time with the 4th Doctor. Yeah. The Brigadier gets shifted down from the 3rd Doctor, whom he was originally going to be with, and they shift him down to the 2nd Doctor, which is unfortunate because he's only the 2nd Doctor a little bit, but he's like all the whole time with the 3rd Doctor, because that shifted out Jamie. Now, Jamie gets to make a cameo.
So he wasn't in it at all?
He gets to make a cameo along with Zoe.
Oh.
Jamie and Zoe do make a cameo during it. But Jamie was supposed to be the 2nd Doctor, etc. But since the 4th Doctor didn't want to come back.
Jamie and Trout.
Yeah.
Pertwee and the Brigadier.
Yep. That's what it was going to be.
Well, that just makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so... Yeah, and it's kind of sad because I wish Jamie had a bigger part, But he does get to come back with Troughton in the 2 Doctors. Yeah, and oddly enough, Jamie's still alive. The actor.
Oh.
So he could come back, in theory. He could come back for the 60th next year, in theory.
And still play the same character that was 20 years old in the show.
Yeah, well, I think it starts like
Doctor
16 or something.
Is there like, we'll just pretend.
It is.
Like, wow, you've aged.
It is. In fact...
They don't ever just write it in that, we went back into the past, but as he grew older and then picked him up again. Wouldn't that make more sense?
Well...
Like, it's not the same Jamie, it's old man Jamie that we went back in time and then we had another adventure with.
No, seriously, for now, they could actually do that.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how old Jamie was when his character died. In the 1800s or whatever. We don't know.
Yeah.
So, or 1600s or whatever it was. But
I just feel like that would make more sense than pretending you look exactly how I was.
I've had a debate with somebody about this on the Doctor Who Digital Spy forums.
Oh, did you?
In Doctor Who...
They took my side, didn't they?
Yeah. He doesn't want anybody to come back for the 60th because they'd be too old. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, no. You can always write something in.
Yeah. It's just some line, a throwaway to explain it.
Just bring them back in the future.
It's science fiction, yeah.
Older, yeah.
But to be fair, it is a time-honored tradition in Doctor Who, not only to bring back people for the 10-year anniversaries, but that they look older and you ignore it. That is seriously a time-honored tradition in Doctor Who, because when you do the 3 Doctors, Hartnell looks a lot older and frail. He dies not that long after.
I thought he looked pretty good, but he was...
Yeah.
There's a lot of special effects around him.
Yeah. When you get to the 5 Doctors...
He was in a bowl.
Yeah.
I am speaking to you from the TARDIS. Yeah. You just see him on the screen like that.
When you get to the 5 Doctors, Troughton, or Pertwee, looks a good bit older. Mm-hmm. But they just ignore it.
Yeah, he started old.
Yeah, but they just ignore it. When you get to the 2 Doctors, Troughton looks a lot older, and they just ignore it.
He ages so well, though.
Well, his hair is no longer black.
He always
it's really salt and pepper. Yeah, but his hair is really salt and pepper.
They don't dye the hair for the specials?
No.
They don't put a wig on?
No.
They don't try to zhuzh them?
No.
Put some zhuzh in it?
But it's a time-honored tradition in Doctor Who. Okay. It just really is.
That's good to know.
All right. Anyway, so Sarah Jane Smith starts out as a young journalist, and she goes through her entire life being that journalist.
Investigative reporter.
Yes. By the time she gets to the Sarah Jane Adventures, she adopts. She has a son that she adopts.
K9.
No.
Oh.
Not K9. He's an alien.
She adopts an alien son?
Yeah, he was being used. He was being experimented on.
As you do. I mean,
and he's got like a microcomputer brain that's really smart.
I mean, if Elon Musk got an alien, he'd put a microchip in there. Yeah. I can't wait for my microchip.
No.
Wi-Fi. I get stream music. They can play ads in my head all day. Oh man.
Wait until we get to the episodes in the alternate universe where you've got the Cybermen, and that's how they start the stuff with the Cybermen.
After they remove all their emotions, then they're just mindless.
That's a little later.
Consumers.
But they use the chip to control people, so they turn themselves in to be turned into Cybermen.
So speaking of having old companions back into for the specials, how far off do you think we are from the Congress, where they just CGI gets to a point where they can digitally reconstruct actors and
CGI is already there.
It's really not though, because Disney tried doing that with Moff Tarkin and Carrie Fisher. All the Star Wars characters died, and they started like CGIing their face. They put a young Mark Hamill in, and it just it's so uncanny. Like they don't have it down.
Okay.
Like if it's a still image.
They did it fairly well in Tron, the Tron remake. So the sequel.
That is they still have the actor. They're just unaging him. They're really good at
correct. Which they could do for Jamie if they wanted to bring him back young.
Yeah,
they take him, they de-age him.
But what they do is they take they do this for deceased actors, and they get a person there as a reference, and then they digitally construct Moff Tarkin's face over him, and it doesn't look great.
I don't know how far we are from that, but I'm not sure if Doctor Who will ever have the budget for such things. Okay. I mean, their budget's just a little bigger than our show, you know?
How much would you sell your entire likeness for? They're like, we want to scan your entire body.
Like in the Congress.
Yeah. And use it for pornographic films.
Not at my age. They'd have to really seriously...
You're like, how much do I owe you?
No, they'd have to really seriously de-age me for anybody want to see me anything like that.
Young Hatter?
Yeah. I don't know.
What is your price point?
$3 million.
Is that like morally acceptable? Do you think people would be morally opposed to that? Because they can do once you sell your likeness, they do whatever they want to it. Maybe you see you saying things that you don't agree with.
Well, like in the Congress, you didn't want to be in these sci-fi films.
Oh yeah.
You can put in stipulations.
Sign that
yeah.
It'll come back with more money though. $3 million.
$3 million. That'd be enough for my wife and I to retire, and we could travel and do whatever we wanted.
Jamaica, Aruba,
Alright, anyway, so
who are we talking about?
Sarah Jane Smith. She comes back. She's in 2 spin-off shows, which is K9 and Company and the Sarah Jane Adventures, and she shows up again, once or twice in the main show, twice. She's just that beloved a companion, and she was the first. Man, I don't like saying this because it gives a lot of short shrift to Elizabeth Grant and some of the earlier, the teachers, etc. Ian and Barbara.
Yeah.
But she's like the first real I am woman, hear me roar kind of I can do what I want. Bit of a feminist.
The investigative reporter, I feel like, is just such a perfect archetype for Doctor Who companion.
Yeah.
She wants to be in the TARDIS and she wants to go on the adventures. She just doesn't.
Right. The problem is it keeps showing her wanting to do these things. She doesn't listen to the Doctor. Then she gets in trouble and almost dies, like you said. Why is she sad to leave the Doctor? We were talking about that recently when we saw her leave. She keeps getting the short end of the stick. She keeps getting almost killed.
She changed her mind eventually. She's like, I want to go home now.
But
every episode she get mind controlled, strangled, suffocated, almost died, resuscitated.
Because she didn't listen to the doctor.
Man, back to back. Even when she was, he's like, stand here, and he'd turn around, and someone would be like, oh, where'd she go?
That's one of the reasons I like Harry Sullivan so much. He listened to the doctor. He didn't get anywhere near enough, getting anywhere near as many scrapes because of it.
I feel like the scrapes are because of the doctor.
Some.
Yeah, a lot.
Some. Alright. Okay. Let's see. And unfortunately, she was supposed to be in the 50th anniversary episode, and she passed away. So they gave her part to Rose. And Rose fulfills it.
You like Rose? Your favorite? Second favorite?
No.
Oh.
She's a, don't get me wrong, she's a fine companion.
I thought Rose was everyone's least favorite companion. Right?
No, some people really like
big,
her. It's just...
Oh, it was a very polarizing point in Doctor Who fans.
No, not...
Like half of them loved her and half of them hated her.
Not super big, it's just the...
Who is the companion that's like that? Or is that... Am I thinking of Rose?
No, you're thinking of Claire.
Oh, that's probably who I heard.
God, I hate Claire.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. When we get to her, it's going to be a 45-minute rant of why she sucks, and no one's going to watch it. Then again, nobody watches it now. All right.
That's true. We can say whatever we want.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, Sarah Jane, beloved, she died too soon. That's the only reason she's out of Doctor Who is because she passed away. And the 5th season of the Sarah Jane Adventures only has 4 episodes. That's all they filmed before she passed. They went ahead and showed those and released it. But
short season.
Yeah, well, she died, and they can't replace her on the show. It would not be right to remember to try and put someone else in.
Well, they put someone else in for Heath Ledger. Several people.
First of all, that was a movie.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's a one-shot where you can work around it. It's not a character that you've known and loved for decades.
Oh. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger was not very likable in that movie.
Oh, no, he's a jerk, a Hanyak, he's just a horrible person. And I had zero problem with Parnassus trading him in for his daughter's freedom.
Yeah, me either. Spoiler.
Spoilers.
I didn't know that was Heath Ledger's last film.
Yeah. All right. Favorite cereal with Sarah Jane Smith?
No idea. I'd have to think about that one. Can I see the cereal?
Sure. For me, it's Genesis of the Daleks.
Oh, that's a good one. That's just... Is that your favorite for Sarah Jane Smith, or that's just your favorite?
That's one of my favorites, period. It's just so good. All right. Hold on, let me...
Do you have a least favorite for Sarah Jane Smith?
I'd have to look. Let's see. Robot's okay, but not super great.
The dinosaur one, right?
The dinosaur one's not the best.
It was still fun.
Okay, the Time Warrior. Oh, wait,
that was with Mr. Potato Head, the Centaur. She's in that?
Well, yeah, she's in that. She's a good... Oh, I'm thinking the Time Monster. Yeah, Time Warrior, Invasion of the Dinosaurs, Invasion of the Dinosaurs is only okay. Death to the Daleks.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. The Monster of Peladon, another good one.
Very good.
Planet of the Spiders. Robot.
Ooh, I like the spiders.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one. That might be... I don't know. Keep going.
Robot. The Ark in Space. The Sontaran Experiment. Genesis of the Daleks. Revenge of the Cybermen. Terror of the Zygons. I like that one a lot too. Planet of Evil. Pyramids of Mars. Another good one. It's with Omega.
Yeah.
Not Omega.
The...
No, we have him over there. Oh no, we don't have him over there. What was his name?
Oh, Sutek.
Sutek. Yeah.
I don't think he is on the board, but...
No, he's not there yet. He's going to probably be our one shot.
I think I wrote him down in here.
For the one shot with that, yeah.
Sutek was pretty cool.
Yeah. Pyramids of Mars, Android Invasion.
What was that one-liner where he like burns the guy to death? He was a cool villain.
No, he was a great villain. Brain of Morbius. The Seeds of Doom, The Mask of Mandragora, and then The Hand of Fear is where she leaves.
I think The Planet of the Spiders might have to be my favorite for Sarah Jane Smith, because I feel like that's one where she wasn't just getting shafted at every corner, like where she'd get in trouble and then have to save her. Because she'd interact with that the strongman guy who got his intellect. Right, that was the one with
the flowers for Algernon guy.
Yeah. That one was
That's a
sweet.
heartbreak.
Yeah, I like that. That's probably my favorite joke rant.
I still think Just the Daleks is so good.
And then the dinosaurs is probably my least favorite for.
Dinosaurs, maybe robots, but yeah, dinosaurs. Yeah. All right. Cool. Any questions or comments about Sarah Jane?
I say joke rant. Sarah Jane.
You what?
Nothing. I'm getting all tongue-tied. I don't think I have any questions, no.
Okay.
I think I ranted enough.
Any comments about it? No.
Any
Okay.
closing statements, remarks?
We will see her again in The Five Doctors. We will see her again in K9 and Company.
So we'll have to redo our heroes and villains with Sarah Jane Smith.
No, it's possible in the
Part 2 of the...
Right, we could do a Sarah Jane revised or something.
I'll look at her now.
And we will see her again in the main show, and then we'll see her in the Sarah Jane Adventures. We've got a lot of Sarah Jane still to come, even though we've recently said goodbye to her.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, she's good. I wish more Jamie would come back, but we only are going to see him in that very brief cameo in The Five Doctors. And Zoe.
Does he say Krakatoa?
No. And then we'll see him in The Two Doctors.
How cool would it be seeing a mashup of Leela and Jamie McCrimmon just like stabbing things with knives? That would be the perfect companion episode.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And we will hopefully see you again next week when we'll probably keep doing some more heroes and villains.
More movies. We'll talk about our other... Oh, what'd you think of Dr. Parnassus' Imaginarium, the aquarium?
I love that. It's a great movie.
Very wacky.
Dr.
I liked it too.
I like the...
It was a little odd, but...
I like the portrayal of good and evil, and the devil's actually one of the most interesting characters.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy.
And it's the choices. I think there's some underlying Christianity in the movie, and I think
there's some the religious undertones.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I kind of like how the devil was a character where he gave this guy immortality, and he kept making bets with him. And kind of, he's like just tricking him into being his friend because he enjoyed the companionship. Mm-hmm. And then when he won the last bet, he's like, "Oh shoot, I won."
Yeah,
he's like, "Let's make another bet."
Yeah,
he was just looking for a friend. Yeah. And then he helped him out at the end. He's like,
Yeah. Well, the midget was. Yeah, the dwarf was also immortal because he was there.
Yeah.
Way back when.
Yeah. I don't think he ever gave up his immortality.
Right, unlike Parnassus. But I think Parnassus got it back.
He re-immortalized?
I think so. I don't know.
No, I think he's living out the rest of his days knowing his daughter's happy. Because immortality is
it's a bitch.
Yeah. Torture to him.
It is. Who wants to live forever when love must die? Yeah. All right. Anyway, we will probably do... Oh, and Clerks 2. What do you think of Clerks 2?
I like Clerks 2. I said irreverent and churlish.
And hilarious.
It's funny. I was going to say that Dr. Parnassus had a happier ending than I've come to expect from Terry Gilliam.
Yes.
I was like, like in the final arc, I'm like, this is going to be a bad ending. I'm like, oh, it's not too bad. Sad, but not too bad.
Well, we have 3 more Terry Gilliam movies to go.
Do they have good endings?
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Well, at least one of them does.
Okay. Oh, just 1 out of 3?
3? No. I think at least 2 out of 3 do. But
okay. That I can do.
The Fisher King would have been so much better if the ending was...
Do they have an alternate?
Not as happy.
Alternate ending? Alternate edit? Oh. I like those. Where you go back and see I Am Legend, but the alternate cut, or the fairy tale ending on 12 Monkeys?
Brazil.
That's the ending I wanted to see. When they're in the bed and the movie ends and they're happy.
And then
the SWAT team comes in and you're like, oh no. Alright, well thanks for joining us.
Alright, we'll see you next week hopefully.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.